All right, and Cancer, thank you guys so much for tuning in to all of my Cancers, Sun, Moon, and or Rising. If you also know your Venus sign, you can apply your Venus sign to this reading as well. Before I get started, I would like to say that this is a general reading, so it's really important for you guys to make sure that you are tapped into your intuition throughout this reading. That way you guys can get these little intuitive hits to know exactly which part of the message is meant just for you, precisely for you. So to help get you guys' intuition kicked in here for this reading, I'm going to offer you guys a nice little 15-second meditation before getting into this reading. It's just going to be a little quiet time to kind of calm your mind, quiet the noise, and just kind of get into this intuitive space. So that the way, like I said, you can get those little intuitive hits from your guides and from spirit, and to know exactly which parts of the message are meant for you. So before we get into this meditation, I also want to say to make sure that you check the rest of your placements. So if you know your moon, your rising, your Venus even, make sure you check the rest of your placements. I'll keep all the rest of the zodiac signs that I've done for this upcoming month of May 2019 prediction. I will link those links down below in the description box. This is going to be all about the upcoming month of May and the energy that you can kind of expect to deal with in the month of May. Obviously, this is going to be a little bit different for everybody, depending on your natal chart, your own placements, and your own natal chart. Let's go on ahead and get started with that 15-second meditation starting now. Okay, and hopefully that 15-second meditation was enough time. If not, feel free to go on ahead and pause the video. But without further ado, let's just go on ahead and jump into this reading. So the very first card that I have here for my Cancers, Sun, Moon, and a Rising, possibly even Venus, is the Page of Swords. Then the Ten of Cups in reverse. And the last for the tarot is Queen of Swords in reverse. Okay, so for my Cancer, Sun, Moon, and a Rising, possibly even Venus, what I am seeing for the energy in the month of May is that there is going to need to be you're going to need to be very cautious with your words during the month of May, within your relationships, within your very, very close personal relationships, from what I'm seeing, because the Ten of Cups generally means, family, the home, family life, the home life, people that are closest to you, the things that make you feel like you're at home, the things that make you feel safe and protected. So that, that kind of lets me know for sure that there's going to be a very big kind of focus, or there's going to be a nice amount of focus on those really close personal relationships in the month of May. And with the Page of Swords here, he's somebody that's very impulsive. He's somebody that speaks his mind. He doesn't really have much of a filter because he's kind of young in the game, I guess you could look at it as. He's not necessarily at the level of the Knight, definitely not the Queen, and definitely not the King. And then we have the Queen of Swords over here who's in reverse, and she's the same suit as the Page of Swords, obviously. And the Swords deals with the mind, it deals with the intellect, it deals with how we communicate. So to see the Queen of Swords in reverse, somebody who's normally very she is normally very inquisitive, she's normally very fair, she speaks with a very clear mind, and she speaks with truth, and she speaks with kind of like the double-edged sword sort of deal, where it's like she doesn't spare anybody's feelings. She is all about the truth. And to see her in reverse is obviously, the opposite. This is somebody who is more cold-hearted, someone who can also be emotional, almost too emotional, or even easily manipulated and influenced. So, this is somebody who's just not very balanced at all. And to see the Page of Swords upright lets me know that, because the Page of Swords, you can kind of look at him as like a child, and he's the one that's just so inquisitive. Like I said, he doesn't have much of a filter, just like most children. Most children, they just kind of speak their minds. They're very truthful. They don't have a filter because they don't know to have a filter yet. And he's definitely not as experienced as our Queen over here, the Queen of Swords. She is much more of an experienced character. And to have both of those kind of pairing off, and then we have the 10 of Cups in reverse, it definitely is letting me know, like, to be very cautious and very careful with your personal, very, very close personal relationships in the month of May, because the energy surrounding them could be very triggering for the month of May. For my Cancers, Sun, Moon, and or Rising, possibly even Venus, there is going to be a time in May where you could easily be triggered by the people closest to you. So be very careful with your words and the things that you're saying and the things that you're thinking and the way that you're carrying yourself, the way that you're responding to the people in your life, the way that you are looking at the people in your life, and be careful not to be too over emotional and just not too impulsive with your words. Which I know can be a little difficult for my Cancers, because you guys are a cardinal water sign, so you guys are kind of like the impulsive talkers, or not impulsive talkers, but the impulsive feelers. You guys just have these impulsive feelings that you can't really much control. And if you don't know how to really balance out your energy yet as a Cancer, it can make it very easy for you to sort of put yourself in a predicament or a position within your relationships, your closest relationships, that you're not necessarily fond of or too happy about. So be very careful for that for the month of May. Because like I said, May just looks like, for my Cancers, it looks like just a very triggering time where it's really going, like, May has a lot of energy for my Cancers here, where it's just like, this could be a possibly very triggering time for you, where it just kind of seems as if everybody's trying to get like a piece of you, and not in a good way. Like it's almost like where everybody it's going to feel like to you possibly that people are attacking you. And it's really all about just that perception. It's really all about how you look at it. But to be very cautious about this. Okay. So let's just go on ahead and get to you guys' oracle cards to take a look here. So the very first one that we have here, so interesting, is the hummingbird. The hummingbird, and then the moth. That's very interesting. That's so interesting because the moth talks about specifically impulsivity, being hasty, being wishful. I'm gonna just read to you guys here. Let's see. Let me go to it, what the moth means. So the moth is sure the grass is greener on the other side. Moth energy is at play when we're attracted to easy solutions or anything shiny and new. This can lead to unfinished projects, disappointment, or burnout. It's helpful to remind moth personalities that life is complex. No matter the illusion, no one is exempt from the trials and tribulations of this great journey. Practice seeing life as an infinite mystery rather than wishing it was easier or different. When in balance, enthusiastic, whimsical. When out of balance, the moth idealizes others and is jittery. To bring into balance, finish a project. Yeah, so this moth energy here is going to be kind of conflicting for this month of May. But actually, let me go on ahead and read to you guys the hummingbird as well, because the hummingbird kind of is bringing some different energy than the moth. The hummingbird is a little bit more positive here. So the hummingbird, yeah, this is what it says: positive, enthusiastic, spiritually resourceful. Inside of the tiny hummingbird resides an endless well of energy and positivity. The hummingbird's secret is that it has learned where to gather nectar, and it returns to these sources daily for nourishment and rejuvenation. This sacred elixir springs from many sources, but usually involves nature, creativity, and exploring spirituality. Follow the way of the hummingbird, and you cannot go wrong. Every droplet of life becomes sweet, every moment worth savoring. When in balance, the hummingbird is smart, curious, and loves to learn, just like the Page of Swords here. He loves to learn. That's why I was saying he's very inquisitive. When out of balance, the hummingbird is pushy, insistent, and sharp, like the Queen of Swords in reverse. That's funny. To bring into balance, take a class. Yeah, so you guys, be very careful with this energy in May. It's what I was saying. This looks like such a triggering time for my Cancers here. I don't know what's going to be going on, but it looks like to me where most of your triggers are really going to be really going to be coming from the people closest to you, your family, the people maybe that you work with or see or interact with every single day. It's going to be the people that are kind of like closest to you that can really get under your skin. So be careful of that. And like it says with the moth, you're always thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. Do not allow this energy to get to you, because May is going to bring you this energy so that the way you can learn how to deal with this energy, that the way you can learn how to deal with these types of people, That the way you can learn how to stay balanced, even when people are trying to throw you off balance. Okay, so the very next card that we have here is abundantia, prosperity. Yeah, the universe is pouring its abundance out to you. Be open to receiving. What was I just saying? You guys, this is coming. May is going to be triggering for you, but it's for you to actually learn how to balance yourself out. No matter what's going on, the entire world could be crashing around you, and you can still find a place of balance within yourself. But you have to go within, and you really have to realize how to kind of manage all these different emotions, because I know my Cancers feel so intensely and so vividly and so strongly. So it's really going to be all about kind of mind over matter. The very next card that we have, Sekhmet, be strong. You're stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. Yeah, just stay strong within this. The very next card that we have, adjustments are required. Third quarter, new moon. Yeah, definitely. The adjustments are going to be they're going to be you just kind of learning, like I said, mind over matter for sure. The next card, don't let pride get in your way. Yeah, you guys, very important not to let that pride get in the way, because that is definitely one thing that the Queen and the Kings can have. And the court cards in tarot is they can have a sense of pride. I mean, they're kings and queens, you know, when they're kind of imbalanced, they can have a sense of pride. So really do not let pride get in your way. Like I was saying, they're going to come here to trigger you, but it's going to be up to you if you respond to these triggers. You don't have to respond to these triggers. And if you do respond in a way that is beneficial for you, that is going to have you, leaving that conversation or leaving that situation feeling as if, wow, I'm really proud of myself and how I handled that. Don't allow yourself to get triggered, then fail the test of being triggered, and then being upset about the fact that you failed the test of getting triggered in the first place, or that you handled it wrong, or that now, you know, a relationship is damaged that was once good, you know. Don't let it get to that point, and you really have control over that. The next card that we have, breathe. Yes. Just breathe. It's going to be fine. It's really just going to take you realizing, I just need to take a moment, take a breather. This is not that serious. You know, it's like when you count to 10 and you kind of realize, okay, I'm not as mad as I was when I started out at 1. It's kind of like that, where you just kind of want to, or kind of need to apply like patience and going slower, not being so impulsive, like this Page of Swords here. That's really what Breathe talks about, is just not being so impulsive, being more patient, waiting, going slower, meditation, trust, not being so impulsive, like this Page of Swords here. The very first, like literally the very first line in describing the Breathe card in that particular deck is, patience in all things is called for right now. What do you need to do when you're in a rush? So as you may be feeling like a rush of emotions, you know, you may be feeling like impulsively, like you may be feeling like, I really want to just say something. I really want to just snap back. I really want to just get this off my chest. And that is not going to get you anywhere. That's going to get you to this point where you are feeling out of sorts because the people that are closest to you in your life, now you're on the outs with them. That's not going to make you feel any better by lashing out at them. Okay, so the very next card that we have here is chopped wood, or chop wood. I always say chop wood. I always say chopped wood. But yeah, chop wood talks about being grounded in everyday experience and humility. So finding that humility that the Queen of Swords normally has when she's upright, but because she's in reverse, she doesn't really have that. She's just kind of like, you know what? I feel like lashing out. I feel like getting pissed off. I feel like responding like this. So I'm going to. Don't give in. Do not give in, because this is for you. You don't need to lash out at this other person or this other party to make your point heard or to get your point across, because it's not going to make you feel any better at the end of the day. This is really all about you, not them. So do respond in a way that's going to make you feel better after walking away from that person or that situation. The very next card that we have is Desert Vision Quest. So for me, Desert Vision Quest kind of talks about, in the spread anyway, intuitively, for me, it talks about looking for something in a place where you're not going to find it. And I don't know if And for me, that kind of ties into you arguing with someone that's not going to get you anywhere, or you fighting a situation that's not going to get you anywhere. You being impulsive and it's not going to get you anywhere, versus waiting, versus being patient, versus being humble. That's what's going to get you somewhere. Not being so, such a cardinal sign all the time, not being impulsive with your reactions. So like I said, Desert Vision Quest for me kind of is like you looking for peace in a place where you're fighting. It's like, I'm going to fight. I'm going to be impulsive. I'm going to say what's on my mind because I'm looking for peace. I'm looking for respect. And it's like, that's not the place to find it. You don't find peace and respect in a fight. You don't find peace and respect in negativity. That's not where you find it, So be very cautious of that for the upcoming month of May. The very next card that we have, release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. This may also tie into Desert Vision Quest as well, looking for something in a place where you're not going to find it. If you're looking for something in your ex that you haven't already found, this is not the place to find it. I have a feeling these two cards may really be kind of talking about the same thing. Don't look for love in a place where it failed before with your ex, if that's the case. The very next card that we have here is let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. Yes, get support, get love, get strength, get humility. Don't feed off the energy of negativity, of impulsivity, of anger, of rashness, be rational. The very last card that we have here is safe home. I cast this circle round about. Safety now is beyond doubt. And this is a spell, if you guys are into that you guys can definitely apply to the month of May. Yeah, so for me, safe home really talks about both of the Ten of Cups is the home card of the tarot here. So for me, this card, Safe Home, really confirms the fact that the month of May is going to be all about my Cancers here, really protecting that home, really making sure that home can mean anything. What is the idea of home? The idea of home is a place where we feel most comfortable, most protected, most safe. And and that's the thing, like Cancers, you guys are all about creating a safe home. That's why it's so funny to actually see this card, because that's what you guys are all about, creating a safe space, creating a safe home. If you know anything about astrology, then you know that Cancer rules the fourth house, and the fourth house has everything to do with the home and everything that goes on behind closed doors, family life, things like that. So there's no shock to me to see the safe home card for my Cancers here, but I do know how extremely important it's going to be for you guys to maintain the idea of a safe home, because it's so important for you guys. You guys really prioritize keeping a safe, happy home, a safe, happy family. So, really make sure that for the month of May, you guys are not getting sidetracked with the whole, getting caught up in all the drama and everything, because honestly, that is going to, if you get caught up in the drama, you're going to be the person that really suffers the most. And you guys are the ones that are going to feel this the hardest. So, really try to maintain that happy home, really try to maintain that positive outlook, stay humble and stay patient and stay strong for sure. Because like it says here, prosperity, you guys are really, this is the universe kind of showing you how to maintain balance in the middle of chaos. And in that, you guys are going to find so much prosperity. It's going to be a very prosperous lesson for you guys. Okay. So that is all I'm saying for my Cancers, Sun, Moon, and or Rising, possibly even Venus. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to check out the rest of your placements, because I've done every single sign. And I'll be back next time, but stay strong, my Cancers. All right. Bye, guys.